the first contact I had with Ashley was in 1995. His best friend had an older sister who sat next to me in earth science class in high school, right? And she was actually good friends with this guy who most of my high school bands, and I was in most of my first bands with this guy, Jimmy. Jimmy played drums. And Jen was friends with Jimmy, and Jen sat next to me in class, and Jen was really sweet. She was cool, very pretty, very kind girl. And her little brother was Sean. Fast forward, I put out this record in '95, and my email address was in it, because back in 1995, if you were an underground band, you put your email address inside your record so people could call you or email you to book concerts and whatnot. And it was 1995, so people wouldn't, like, they weren't creepy about it, they weren't stalkery about it, I guess, not to me at least. But I get an email from, oh no, I didn't get an email, it was on AOL, America Online. Holy shit. So I get this instant message from this kid who's like, hey man, I heard your record, it's cool. I'm like, oh sweet. He's like, yeah, I play drums and bass and guitar and all that stuff too. I'm like, oh word? Yeah, I've been playing drums for a little while, I got a guitarist, thing. I was like, oh man. And we went back and forth, and he was like 5 years younger than me, so he must have been like, shit, he must have been 13, 12 or something at the time. And I was just like, cool, there's this kid, he's a musician, he hits me up, whatever, didn't think much of it. And we stayed in contact over the years, and I put out more music over the years, and he would tell me what he thought of the music. Oh, this record's really good, it kind of reminds me of the last one, whatever the fuck. And I just was like, whatever, it's a cool kid. And then I had a show with my band Supergrub at the casino in Asbury Park. And I remember he was like, I'm going to come to your show, come say hi. I'm like, cool. And I think he was the only person at the show. So we played, and there may have been a couple other people there. Maybe Sean was there, his buddy Sean. And I met him, and then I think we went out to Pat's Diner in Belmar afterwards and just hung out, and it got along with him really well. Really smart kid, seemed to be advanced for how young he was. And I just, years later, I think it was in Philly by this time, living in Philly, and it was like, hey, you want to come jam? Because he was still playing, still telling me about the music he's working on. So I came out, played drums, and ripped, and I could tell that he had that thing where, like, the instrument is not the part of what you are. Your instrument is not your identity. There's a couple different types of musicians. One type of musician that I really like is a musician who can pick up a can of beans and start banging on it and make music with it. And then there's a different type of musician where it's like, I have to play this thing because I am this player. I only play violin or whatever the fuck, There are people that are limited to how they think about music. And Ash was not one of those people. To him, it was like whatever he could get his hands on was the instrument he was playing. So we stayed close, and then over the years, Jimmy and I weren't really playing together anymore. Supergrub needed a drummer, and Ash came in and started playing drums for Supergrub, and it was fun because he was like a sponge. He just, every aspect of it, he just absorbed willingly and with an appetite. And that went on for a while. He started making his own music. I don't even know, like 20 years. I guess we've been friends for 23 years now, 24 years. Went by like that. It was really, really fast. And here we are, he's playing bass with me, and he's like, I don't know. He's my best friend, but he's also my best musical friend, like the person who I can sit with and make music with endlessly and not record a note of it. Ow, this shit's hot. and not record a note of it and then feel completely satisfied afterwards and be like, that was what I needed to do. So that's special to me. So yeah, that's Ashley's, my and Ashley's story, quick version.